Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, January the 19th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. There's a look at the Skycam network from the Alpha Skycam network at ABC 3340, and just an absolutely gorgeous shot looking out over Gadsden. Looks like a little fog down there in the river valley. And then here's another wonderful shot as we look out over the Tennessee River at Decatur. Just a beautiful, beautiful sunrise this morning. The dominant weather feature across the southeastern U.S. is that of a high-pressure system that is currently centered pretty much over the southeastern U.S. from the Carolinas over into the eastern and part of Texas and down into the northwest Gulf. In the upper atmosphere, we're going to be seeing and dealing with a long wave trough position pretty much over the eastern half of the country for the next week or so. And while that keeps us somewhat chilly, it also keeps us pretty much dry. There's a look at temperatures this morning, and certainly across the country. It's, I think, a kind of a somewhat not too terribly cold, unless you're looking at the central Rockies over there. That's where temperatures are the coldest. Across central Alabama, we have a pretty good range of temperatures, 26 at Decatur, 32 at Birmingham, and I noticed that I was down around 27 degrees. The QPF forecast pretty much tells you the story for the next 5 days, and that is we're going to stay dry. All right, this is the 06Z GFS model run, and we're looking at the 500 millibar pattern for Sunday, and you can see pretty much the long wave trough position. We're dealing with disturbances that are passing through that flow, and of course with that, high pressure down along the southern part of the United States, plus high pressure over western Canada that is going to be breaking loose and bringing us some cold air. You can see the 540 line on Sunday in the vicinity of Cape Girardeau in the Kentucky and Missouri boot heel area. By Monday, the trough is sharpening up, and what that means for us is that we see the 540 line come down a little bit further into the Alabama-Tennessee line. So we're going to see a shot of kind of colder air in there, but with no moisture to deal with, it'll be dry. The sharpness of the trough stays with us on Tuesday, so Tuesday is going to be a bit of a chilly day. The trough doesn't change a great deal on Wednesday, but we should with full sun, and as it's just moving off just a little bit, it should warm up a little bit, so we're going to get back into temperatures that are a little bit more typical for this time of year, but with a fairly chilly morning low. On Thursday, the pattern, the upper air pattern at least, has flattened out somewhat, but we've got a nice disturbance moving into the northern Rockies there, and that disturbance will help to develop a surface low over the Central Plains states. And we do have some differences here. Now, the European at this particular time for Thursday also suggests that the same thing is going to be happening, but the European puts the surface low a little bit further to the east. And so these differences continue as we get out into the forecast. In the upper atmosphere, we see that trough drop in nicely into Oklahoma. And, of course, that should help to reinforce the development of that surface low. And GFS suggesting the surface low moves over to Ohio. The European, on the other hand, suggests that the surface low is going to move much faster and be actually up over southern New England. Now, they're both agreeing that the front will move into our area, so it looks like the timing may vary somewhat, but for now, looks like the timing is going to be that we have the best chances of rain coming late Thursday into Thursday night and into Friday morning, and then when it ends on Friday, model differences are suggesting that we're not going to be able to pin that down just yet. The sharp trough moves on by, and on Saturday, so once again we see a cool down as you see the 540 line dipping down into the vicinity of about Montgomery. Looking out into Voodoo country, we're going to stay pretty active. Here comes another trough through kind of the southern flow, and that should produce a wet day for us around the 29th or so of January. And then we return to a little more colder look around the 1st of February with another kind of long wave trough position over the eastern half of the country, and that long wave trough position more or less stays there as we get into the first part of February. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this particular day, Saturday, January the 19th. I hope that you have a great weekend. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. Have a great day, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.